In this video, I'm going to show you how to use a program like Windows Live Mail to check your email account with RushWeb, iHub, or Club WebSource. They all work the same, and you can check your email using any kind of a client, such as MacMail, Thunderbird. There's a bunch of different programs out there, Outlook. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Live Mail so you can check your account. So first thing you'll want to do is go up under Accounts, and you're going to click the plus email or add an email account. And this window will pop up. First thing you're going to do is enter your email address that you are going to have with us. So for this example, I'm going to use a demo account, and then the password. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave it on remember password. That way you don't have to enter password every time the program checks mail. Then you can enter anything in here. That doesn't affect the account at all. Keep in mind that people will see this when you send messages. So that will be the email, the name that shows up in the from part of their email program. Okay, you can set this as your default account if it's the main account that you use. And then manually configure server settings we definitely need to check. And you'll go ahead and hit next. And then you're going to enter all this information. So you have some choices you need to make in here. Number one, do you want to use POP or IMAP? So what's the difference? POP email is designed for you to check your mail from one client, and only using that client to download your mail. You don't leave mail on the server using POP email. Typically you use it so that you can download all the mail from a web or an email server out there like ours and download it onto your local computer, which we highly recommend. However, you don't have to use POP. You can use IMAP. IMAP is the newer mechanism for checking mail because it interfaces well with smartphones and tablets. What I mean by that is you can set up all of these different devices to check the same mailbox, and each device will keep track of what emails it's downloaded and which emails it hasn't downloaded. So for example, if you download all of your mail using POP on a desktop program like Live Mail, and you download your mail, when you now check your mail with a smartphone, the phone is not going to download all of those messages because they've already been flagged by Live Mail as having already been seen. Okay, so if you want to be able to download the same messages multiple times on different devices, then use IMAP. If you only want to download them on one device, such as a program like this, then use POP. Okay, so let's go ahead and use IMAP. And the server address is always going to be mail dot and then your domain. So in this case, rushwebsolutions.com is our domain, and we're going to leave off the W's and instead type mail. Okay, now you have a port here, and it automatically will populate to 143, which is the correct port for standard email. If you want to use a secure connection, it's not mandatory. It's completely up to you. It depends on your email comfort and what kind of emails you're getting. Is it necessary to encrypt those emails or not? It does make downloading a little bit slower. You probably won't notice. But when you check this box, the one thing that will happen is every time you open Live Mail and check mail for the first time, a window is going to pop up telling you that it needs to authenticate, and it doesn't recognize the certificate that it's trying to authenticate against. It's a standard warning. You can always click OK, and it'll go away for the rest of that session. Once you close when you close Live Mail, it will pop up again the next time you open Live Mail or Outlook or whatever program. Okay, so it's not going to ask you the question for every message, only when you first open the program. Okay, and when you check that box, you'll notice that the port changes to 993, and that is correct. So whether you check it or not, you don't need to worry about the port. It will default to the correct setting. Okay, then outgoing mail. This is where the way you send mail. So The address that you use for sending is smtp dot, and then again your domain name. Okay, and that's the address you want to use for sending. Now, this one's a little bit trickier. When you're sending mail, there are two ports that you can use. 25 used to be the default port for sending mail. Since since about 2010, a lot of internet providers have switched to using port 587. So it's probably best that you just use that port to avoid any problems that you might run across. 587 is now pretty much widely accepted as the standard connection port, so you might need to just manually type that in there. Again, you can send mail on an SSL or encrypted connection as well. If you do that, you'll check the box, but you'll notice that this port didn't change. And that's because you actually have to select the port when you're sending. And that port number is 465. So 465 is for secure sending. If you uncheck this box, you need to switch that back to 587 or 25, or you'll have all kinds of problems trying to connect. Okay? And then requires authentication. That needs to be checked. What that means is that the system is going to use your email address and your password to authenticate itself, and you need to have that checked. Okay, and then down here, go ahead and leave clear text, and then under the login username, type your email address. So in this case, the email address on this particular account is demo@rushwebsolutions.com. So you'll type your email address in there, and then you'll click Next. And that is all there is to it. And then click Finish, and then you can go try sending and receiving email messages and to test everything and make sure it's working. All right, that's all there is to it.